reacting to Privileged Teens Trash Airbnb on Spring Break by DharMannStudios. Anyways, let's begin.
Kimberly Marie Nicholson!
You know it's serious when the mom straight up calls her daughter by the full name. Anyways, let's continue.
You need to keep your eyes on the road.
Okay, let's just go back here for a second because there was something I was gonna say before they switched it up. Before they switched up the scene. If this was the Airbnb that that the title is talking about, then man, that thing being trashed is an understatement. Like, you call that trashed? I call that being why did I think this through? Why did I think this one through? But like, genuinely, genuinely, you're telling me they just trashed it, quote unquote. Like, my guy, that's more than trashed it. That's straight up threw it in the dumpster. That's so bad that it would probably take a whole cleaning crew days so that they clean every single bed. Anyways, let's continue, huh?
You need to keep your eyes on the road.
Please, I saw that car coming from a mile away. Ugh, we need to find a new spot to throw our parties. I can't handle my mom blowing up my phone like this. Def not worth the headache.
Look out! Looks like you didn't see that coming from a mile away.
Okay, like, I don't know what their speed was, but considering the scene, I'm surprised that the car was only damaged lightly and the fact that they weren't hurt. Like, they had to have been driving at like, what, 20 to 30 miles? Or something like that for the impact to be this light. There's no way they were driving at a good amount of speed for it to be this light. Like, if they were driving at, let's say, like, I don't know what the norm is in miles, but like, if they were driving at like, what, 50, 60 miles, something like that, it would definitely have been much more than this. And like, I think I have the right to assume that that speed was the one that they were doing, because like, genuinely, what speed were they doing for the damage to be this light? Like, genuinely think about it. A normal speed that someone would use at like a normal road is like high enough that more damage would have been dealt. And second, how the hell did you hit that? Like, did you stray off of the road? Because last time I checked, you don't have I don't know what that thing is exactly because I can't see the whole object, but like, you don't have something like that in the middle of the road. Like, what? Anyways, let's continue.
Looks like you didn't see that coming from a mile away.
Whatever, my dad will fix it. Let's just get to class.
How did you hit that? Oh boy, she got the best of it. Like, genuinely, she's lucky that she didn't hit it that hard. Which again, I have to ask, what speed were they doing? Because like, genuinely, any normal speed that a person uses, unless she slowed down at the last minute, which she obviously didn't, because if she did, she would definitely have noticed it, which means, you know, stop it completely. But unless she slowed it down at the last minute, there's no way the damage would be this light. Especially considering the fact that no emergency measures were activated. These two got away unscathed. Like, anyways, let's continue, huh?
Fix it. If you know what's good for you. Now run along, scholarship. It's not like that loser has any friends to tell anyways.
You never know. Maybe she talks to the cockroaches that live under her bed.
Okay, I'll give Dhar Mann this. He actually subverted my expectations when it comes to the protagonist, because usually, in these types of stories, when there happens to be that rich bully or whatever, most of the time, we would see the story from her perspective, that girl over there, not the rich girl's perspective. So I'm honestly interested in seeing what they'll do with it, because they rarely do the whole thing where we're actually seeing the perspective of the villain rather than the, I wouldn't say hero, because like I don't think she'll do anything significant, but like the protagonist. We really see the I would say evil side, or like the evil, or like the antagonist side. We always see the protagonist side. I mean, yeah, the rich bully in this case would be the protagonist, but you guys know what I mean. Anyways, let's continue.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there.
Clearly your spatial awareness could use some work.
Yep, introduce the crush. Again, who is the main character? That girl or the rich bully? Like, who is it? But at least I'll give them the fact that they didn't use the same, I would call it editing style, because because like, man, that old style was getting annoying when they were introduced the crush. So like, at least they made it quick. Anyways.
Oh wow, you're a Ruppy car fan.
The world gives us so much pain.
And here you are making gold out of it. I love that one. Ooh, not so sure if we can make gold out of this. I'm Ryan.
I'm Janelle.
I may be able to help you out with this.
No need. It was all my fault. I'll just buy Janelle a new one.
That's really nice of you.
He definitely will not.
You get a new laptop. Looks like it was a blessing in disguise for more than one reason.
Let me guess, the two are in love with the same person, huh? Yeah, isn't that easy? Isn't that hidden now, is it?
It's nice to meet you, Janelle.
Nice to meet you.
Wipe that drool off your face. Newsflash, Ryan would never go for a loser like you. Do your
I mean, are you even right? Like, if that girl believes her, I would like to go through the screen and give her a smack in the face, because like, it's very obvious that that I think his name was Ryan, right? That Ryan would probably consider going out with her if he knew her for a bit, because like, he wouldn't be this kind to someone. Wait a minute. DharMann, do you have a cinematic universe now or something? Why is that thing here? If you watch that story where they started this whole campaign, you know what I mean. Like, DharMann, since when did you have a cinematic universe? Like, what? Is it because the actors who play Jay and Micah and all of them are now getting older that you decided to start a brand new universe or something? I guess cinematic universe in this case, because I never expected these stories to actually have continuity. Anyway.
yourself a favor and shop for a new boyfriend at Goodwill. Or the trailer park. Not a private school where no one wants you here. Oh, and I'm not buying you a new one.
How are you adjusting this semester? Are you making any new friends?
It's hard when I feel like a weed in a rose garden. I stick out like a sore thumb. I wish I was more like everyone else.
What's wrong with being you?
Ew. Looks like she got that food from the dollar store. Calling that food is generous.
It's hard when I feel like I can't relate to a single student here.
Not a single one.
Well, maybe there's one. But regardless, that's like a fraction of the student body.
I understand it can be difficult, but as the saying goes, don't be afraid to be different. Be afraid to be the same as everyone else.
I mean, yeah, but like, wait a second. Isn't that the principal? Because like, unless she's the principal, like, it wouldn't really make sense why she's here. So, like, if she's the principal, then complain to her. Show her the laptop. Like, genuinely show her the laptop. What's your problem? Why not show her? Just why? Anyways.
At least try and enjoy your spring break. Any fun plans?
Wow. Looking good. I don't know how I'd manage all these Airbnbs without all your hard work.
My life just flashed before my eyes. I would not have been able to pay for that.
Shouldn't you be focused on school and your early teen years as opposed to worrying about...
Wow, the first time in a while we actually get a rich guy who isn't in, let's just say, awful person. I was gonna use another word, but honestly, I want to stay on YouTube's good side for now. So
money and work?
Maybe she talks to the cockroaches that live under her bed.
Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there.
What is there to enjoy? Besides, now I really need the money. It's not like I'm a trust fund baby with a rich daddy that fixes everything I break. Oh, I gotta run.
Okay, well, a spring break, and I'm anticipating a lot more bookings, so I'll be in touch.
Thank you.
All righty.
Oh, I have nothing to wear. Is that Janelle and Ryan? I told that piece of trash to stay away from him. What are they even talking about?
I'll try to get closer.
You're the first person I've seen around here reading poetry instead of scrolling through Instagram feeds.
She just hits different, you know? It's like she writes what I can't formulate the correct combination of words for.
Exactly, it's raw and real. I thought I was the only person who cared about stuff like that.
We've officially met the other one. I've been wanting to get the 10-year collector's edition of this one, but I gotta save up first. Do you have a favorite book by her?
I'm sorry, it's just, you know, you're different from anyone I've met so far. It's a breath of fresh air, honestly. You're so hardworking and well-spoken. Meanwhile, most of the kids at our rich school never worked a day in their lives.
That's it. We need a plan ASAP to get Ryan away from that troll.
Why don't we throw an epic spring break party? We can invite Ryan, and Janelle won't be there, which means you'll get them all to yourself.
Hi, Daddy. I just wanted to come by your office and see how you were doing.
Just paying some bills for my rental properties. What do you want, sweetheart?
So, Daddy, I was hoping to have some friends over this weekend for a teeny weeny spring break celebration.
Define teeny weeny.
I don't know, like maybe like 50 people.
No. Absolutely not.
Daddy!
You can't expect me to allow you to throw a party after what happened the last time.
who's that reckless? Okay, like at least that dad isn't a person who always says yes to his daughter or anything. He stands his ground. Like, especially because he doesn't excuse her or anything. He straight up calls her out.
I know, but this time will be different. I promise. Please, 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 please.
Have you asked your mother?
Well, she's on a work trip, and I didn't want to bother her. See how mindful I'm being? And Mom's not as cool as you are. You'd be the best dad ever if you would just...
Dad! Did you see the car?
What are you talking about?
Oh, my car! There's absolutely no way that you're having any kind of hangout this weekend. You are in big trouble, young lady.
Oh, come on, Dad. It's just a little dent in the car. I would...
Okay, I'll be honest. I want to ask a question. Did this guy start his day in his ground recently or what? Because honestly, for how he acts, like the fact that he doesn't just say yes to everything and stuff like that, I'm surprised his daughter is that spoiled. Or I guess that privileged, I guess, based on the title. Like, considering how spoiled his daughter is, I'm honestly surprised that she's that spoiled, considering the fact that he doesn't look like the guy who would say yes at all. Like, he doesn't look like a guy whose parenting would result in her being this spoiled. unless he started being like that, like relatively recently, I don't think that type of thing
Wouldn't
would
call that
happen.
little. It's not like we don't have the money to fix it. Besides, I've been wishing for a new car, so...
No. Money doesn't grow on trees, Kim. You get what you work for, not what you wish for. Look at your...
You're gonna pay for this, you little gremlin.
Oh, really? Because this is payback.
Becca, I'm gonna borrow your curling wand, okay? Okay.
Ouch!
Oopsie.
Sorry, we're
Again, something doesn't make sense. How is his daughter this spoiled? Like, for a daughter that's spoiled, I'd expect the father to be someone who says yes to everything, who always fixes up her mess without any issues. Not a father who actually stands his ground and puts limits on what's tolerable and what's not. Like, now I feel like I'm incredibly confused. How is she that spoiled? Like, I'm genuinely asking for the sake of the story. How is she that spoiled? Like, again, usually, like, think about it for a minute. Forget that we ever met the father. If we were to imagine what her father would act like, for someone that spoiled, who doesn't care about anything, who doesn't care that that dent happened in the car, and just ask for a new car and all that instead of, feeling guilty and being able to say it barely being able to say it and all that. Like, for someone like her, for her attitude, I would expect a father who says yes to everything and always gets his daughter what she wants and all that. Like, that's the type of father I'd expect. But with the type of father she has that stands his ground and all that and tells her no, this is bad, you can't do this, and sets limits and all that and punishes her. For that type of father, I wouldn't expect a daughter to be that spoiled. Like, how did she get spoiled if he treats her like that? Anyways, let's continue.
closed.
I'm sorry. I was just seeing if maybe you want to go to a poetry reading with me tonight. It starts in 30.
Oh, I would love to, but I need to cook my little brother dinner and help him with his homework. My mom's working a night shift, but maybe next time?
Next time.
Hey.
Okay, so is this a montage or what? Yep, this is a montage. No, like, yeah, she meets her family, all that. Okay, like, what's the point? Like, is this just introduce the families or what? Like, I try to avoid this because I don't want to get copyright claimed, but, like, I want to ask, what's the point?
Cheers!
Yep, still going through, don't care. Okay, the reason I'm doing this is because, again, I keep checking whether the montage is still going, because, again, these types of songs will get me copyright claimed, and trust me, it doesn't matter that my channel is still unknown, it doesn't matter that I'm not considered a YouTube partner yet. Like it or not, I'll get copyright claimed, and who knows, maybe my video will even have restricted reach, so... yeah.
Picking up few cleaning gigs.
Can I help? I could really use some money.
What do you need money for, bud?
There's this pretty girl at school, and I really want to buy her a butterfly necklace because she's like obsessed with butterflies.
That is so sweet, Polly, but you are way too young to work.
Can I borrow just a little bit? I'll even come help you all work to make up for it. I'll work, like, unofficially.
I barely have enough helping with bills, and now I need a new laptop.
I I mean, does she really need a new laptop? Like, attenuate the word need here. Like, let's look at its condition. Like, okay, it's pretty broken, but here's the thing. It's still usable. Especially because remember, this is not a touchscreen device where the screen being broken can, cause shards of glass to go to your hands and all that. No, it's not a touchscreen device, so a broken display like that is still pretty usable. So like, what? She doesn't need a new laptop per se. This thing still works well. She just has to deal with the fact that it's broken. That's pretty much it. Like, why waste money on a new laptop? This laptop still works perfectly fine, aside from the display being, I wouldn't say a little cracked, but like still works. Anyway.
But the laptop can wait.
Really?
My dad won't let me throw the party here. Our entire plan is ruined thanks to my brat of a little sister, Becca. Ugh, just wish we had our own place.
Why don't we just rent a place?
Because we're not old enough to... Wait, you mean like an Airbnb? Ooh, perf!
Wait, didn't your parents take away your credit card?
Crap. You're right.
Hi, Daddy.
Nicole, start looking for epic party houses. I've got a plan.
So essentially we have two main characters, right? This girl over here and that rich girl over there, right? Okay, because like I honestly need to know who's the protagonist and who's the antagonist or what. I think these two would be considered protagonists. Like the rich girl is technically this girl's antagonist, but like yeah. Anyway.
Hey, no. You're the best big sister ever.
And you're the best little bro ever. I'll get some sleep. You have your first cleaning gig tomorrow. And then you're one step closer to getting that necklace for your little girlfriend.
She's not my girlfriend. Yet.
All right, well, I'm gonna be handwriting another essay if you need me.
No. Maybe you should keep the money for your laptop. I'll still help you, though.
No, it's better spent on your first love. You only get one once every lifetime.
Yeah, I've got a unit opening up on Maple next month. 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Good location, but the last tenants left it in rough shape. I'll need your crew to repaint and replace the carpet before it's listed. Yeah, I'm here. Fine. Just email me the invoice and...
Okay, I'm sorry. What person would leave their card on a table? Like, okay, I don't know about him and all that, but like I have a question. Don't most people put their credit cards in their wallets immediately after they're done? Isn't that the norm? Like, isn't the norm that as soon as you're done with your credit card, you put it on the wallet, you put it in your wallet? Like, okay, if you still have stuff to do with it, you probably keep it on the table. And honestly, since I don't know his work at all, maybe he still needs to use it. Maybe. Anyways, let's continue.
And I'll take care of it. Oh. I didn't see it come through. Let me check again. Yep, no. Check my spam folder. I'm not seeing it. Can you resend? Okay, thanks. By the way, I've got another tenant complaining about a leaky faucet at the Hamilton complex. Oh, one more thing. Do you know any landscapers? Yeah, I need to find someone reliable for the monthly upkeep at these properties.
Okay, I'm sorry, does no one see the problem with her plan? Like, when it comes to online transactions, don't most credit cards have like, or debit cards or whatever, have like a one-time password system built in? Where you have to have the phone for it to work? Especially, like, again, if she was using the credit card, in person, all that, maybe. But, like, since she's probably gonna be using it online, wouldn't she need his phone as well for it to work? Like, don't most credit cards / debit cards have, like, a one-time password system put into them, or am I wrong? Because if it has that system built in, then that girl's plan is essentially ruined. Anyways, let's continue.
Gotcha.
Mission: snag a photo of Daddy's credit card successful. Invite everyone you know that's cool.
I'm telling Dad.
You better shut your mouth about this.
Fine. For a price. Who do I get if I keep my mouth shut?
Fine. I'll take you with me to the party if you keep your mouth shut.
Okay. I have a pretty simple question. How did she do it? Like, did her dad not notice the transaction? Like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll excuse the transaction since, you know, when you're that big, when you're doing that big and all that, like, you know, it's the usual, because rich people do a lot of transactions, they wouldn't notice if one transaction that's unusual slipped by. Like, you know, you've probably seen this trope a lot, or like at least a bit, or once, where because rich parents, you know, especially if they work in jobs where they constantly do transactions, because they constantly do transactions all the time, they don't notice if one transaction was made, especially if it didn't make that much of a debt. Like if rich parents suddenly found that a transaction of 100,000 was done, maybe they'd care. They'd be like, wait a second, what's that? Like, what took $100,000? But if it was only like what 1,000, 1,500, stuff like that, which remember for rich people who do these types of jobs, that 1,500 will be pretty minimal considering the transactions they usually make for their jobs. They wouldn't really bat an eye, you know what I mean? And second, again, how did you make the purchase? Like, okay, like I don't know about all credit cards in the world, of course, but like, don't most credit cards have like a one-time password system because of in situations like this where a credit card is used by someone unauthorized, I guess would be the word for it. Like, especially these credit cards, like especially American Express and all that, these very premium cards, don't they especially have these kinds of systems? Like, how did she just put in the card and get done with it? How? Genuinely, how? Like, okay, I have a question. Like, if any of you know these types of cards, tell me. Do they have some type of like a security measurement, like a one-time password every time you make a purchase or anything like that? Because I would expect from credit cards / debit cards, or heck, especially since these are very premium cards, for them to have some security features. Because if it had even one, that girl would essentially be done for. Like, I don't know what to say anymore. Anyway. How privileged are you for you to break that type of thing? Plus, like, isn't it put in the conditions that you shouldn't break things? Like, okay, sure, causing a bit of trash around and stuff like that is completely normal. It's kind of like the whole wear and tear shtick. Like, okay, you're gonna be there. It's gonna be incredibly difficult for you to keep the place spotless. But like, I think it's kind of bad when you start breaking things, isn't it? Especially because they break it totally intentionally. Like, what? Anyways, let's continue. Wait, was that alcohol? Because if that was, then she definitely should be underage. Like, if you're underage so that you can't even rent, then she definitely can't drink alcohol now, can she? But no, I can't. Let me check. Maybe I can. You know what? Maybe that's just normal water because that party does not seem to include any alcohol at all. So yeah.
What in the? This is preposterous. Who are we hosting? The zoo?
Have you ever seen a property this bad?
No. Never. Whoever rented this place doesn't know the value of $1. I'm gonna have to call the owners. You kids get started. There shouldn't be anyone else here.
I honestly really hope he pays them extra. Like, okay, you weren't the one who caused it, but they still had to put in extra effort. Especially because, like, again, even he says it himself. He hasn't seen something this bad. And like, how do I say this? Oh yeah, these people definitely went too far. Like, the small bit that they showed us of the party just shows how far they went. They went as far as breaking some stuff intentionally. Like, what the actual heck? Generally think about it for 1 minute. You're telling me over here, that they caused all this? Like, of course they did, but like, the main question is, doesn't that technically break terms of service? Because like, okay, you're allowed to cause a mess because that's normal. Like, it's normal for people to make a mess. But like, something this bad, I can't excuse at all. Like, nobody can excuse it. Like, how can someone be this bad? Like, of course, they shoot apart and all that, but like, if you think about it from their perspective, like, who would cause a mess this bad? Oh yeah, the people who throw a party without knowing what the value of money is. Like, okay, maybe I'm reiterating what that guy said, but like, you know what I mean? And again, wouldn't that technically be breaking Airbnb's terms of service? Because there has to be a limit on how much of a mess you can make. Especially because, if I'm not wrong, like, do people who rent Airbnbs or whatever, do they have to clean up the mess, or is it someone else's job to do it? Because that can change things up a lot. Anyways, let's continue.
You really have to clean up all of this?
No, it's okay. I got it. But don't worry, we'll still get that necklace for the pretty girl you like, okay?
No, it's okay. I'll help you. What if someone broke in and is hiding out, just waiting to attack us? Becca? What are you doing here?
Wait, how do you two know each other?
Why didn't I guess that this was the same girl? Maybe it's just because I didn't care.
Oh, right. But that still doesn't explain what you're doing here.
My sister left me here. Surprise, surprise. She's the worst big sister ever.
Who's your sister? You've got to be kidding me. That's your sister? The one who trashed this place? She's the one who broke my laptop.
That's who did that to your laptop?
I did say she was the worst.
What on earth were you thinking throwing a rager like this?
I didn't know you guys owned this place. Oh, this is one of Mom and Dad's? Somebody's in trouble.
You told me that you and Becca were staying at a friend's place. But instead, you used my credit card to rent this place to throw a party here, which you also trashed.
If it makes you guys feel any better, me and my little bro will have this cleaned up in no time.
Ugh. Of course, you'd be the help.
Enough out of you. We couldn't possibly ask you two to clean up all of this mess.
No, it's okay. I need the money. I need to get a new laptop.
Because Kim broke her old one. That's for leaving me here.
Kim broke your own...
Actually, I think I have a better idea on what to do with all this mess.
You know, we really wish our daughter was more like you instead of all the other kids at that school.
Yes, you should be happy that you're nothing like them.
And my husband and I were talking, and we were curious. What do you think about working with Josh as one of our property managers? He could use all the extra help with how many properties we have.
He's given us a glowing review of you, and it pays very well. What do you say?
Ugh, I hate this. I wish it would just come up already.
Well, Kim, like I said, you get what you
Work for, not what you wish for. Yeah, I get it.
I got you something.
I mean, do I really have to see the rest of it? Like, okay, he buys her the necklace.
Care everybody around you. I figure it's your turn to have something nice.
Thank you. And right.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yup, they're together, blah blah blah. Anything else?
Don't pay attention to them. They have nothing better to do.
Easy to say when you're not here on a scholarship.
Actually, I am. And I know it's hard not fitting in, but you don't want to fit in around here.
Like, okay, I'll be skipping this because, like, does it really matter? Does it really matter when you think about it? Okay, anyways, so first of all, I think there are 2 life lessons here, not just one. First of all, you get what you work for, not you get what you wish for. Okay, perfect. Not a problem at all. What was the second one again? Like, I don't remember, but I remember that there was a second one. I honestly don't remember what it was. You know what? Let's just go by the first. Oh yeah, you don't have to worry about not fitting in. You have to worry about fitting in, right? Wasn't that it? Like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like that. So 2 life lessons in one. First of all, I honestly hate the fact that they changed the title because if you look at the chapters, it shows Rich Girls, which was the original title before they changed it to Privileged Teens. Honestly, the original title was better because what part of what these girls did says privileged? What part of it says privileged? Privileged and whatever that was are very different things, buddy. Second, honestly, I want to ask, how was that older sister even, like, created to be like this? Because, like, unless she normally has an awful personality, how could she be this horrible? Because, again, when I saw her, I was like, okay, if we see her father, he's probably gonna be a yes man who says yes to everything she does and all that, but no. He does all the stuff a normal father should. He stands his ground, he sets limits, he punishes her when he should, he does all the things a normal father should do. So, how is she that spoiled when you consider it? Like, okay, maybe it could happen, but like, I wouldn't expect that from a father who has a daughter who's so spoiled. Like, I would expect something much worse from him, which, mind you, is a compliment, not an insult. Like, it's a compliment to him, not an insult, okay? So, yeah. First of all, like, he... honestly, like, the fact that her parents discovered it pretty quickly and that they discovered it by themselves, because I expected something else, like the younger sister telling them, but, like, she kinda did, but she only told them about the laptop, not the whole fiasco. And second, my man. Like, So, essentially, that girl did not trash their place, did not trash one of their properties once, but twice. Once here, and once there. Like, my God, they filled this by double. Like, you see what I mean? Like, she did that twice. Oh boy, I don't even know what to say anymore. And second, like, I want to ask, what was the point of the guy? Like, what was the point of him? Like, I don't get it, honestly. Like, okay, he kind of has some usefulness. Like, he isn't like other types I saw where you could easily write him out of the story with, like, you could have to change the story up a little bit, but then you could write off those types of characters, no problem. Like, he has some scenes where he's needed, so if you were to remove him, writing him off would be a little more difficult, but, like, again, like, for him being the shared love interest between the two girls, I expected him to have a more of a role here. But no, he barely did. Like, he shows up in the ending and, like, what? In one scene with the girl, and that's it? Like, what? Like, do you see what I mean? Like, you could write him off rather easily without a problem. Like, okay, you'd have to rewrite some scenes where he is kind of needed, but at the same time, for a character that's supposed to be the shared love interest between the protagonist and the antagonist, who's supposed to show up a lot, like, I expected him to be in a much bigger role than he actually did at the end. Like, genuinely, I forgot about him halfway through. Like, genuinely, tell me, when you see these types of shared love interests where the two kind of are rivals on who's gonna date him, whether consciously or unconsciously, like, for example, I'll call her the poor girl because honestly I don't remember her name. Like, so the poor girl, like, she didn't even compete. Like, I would say she fell for him, but she didn't even know that the rich girl was really into that much. So, like, there wasn't any kind of rivalry here. But, like, again, he honestly is disappointing because of the fact that they expected him to have a much bigger role considering his place in the story. And, okay, so, first of all, I want to ask, were all of this, like, first of all, how did her dad not catch her? Like, I feel like this is a trope in general, but, like, don't credit cards have security measures that are supposed to stop this exact scenario? Like, aren't there credit cards? Like, don't the credit cards have security systems that are made specifically to stop this? Like, for example, the one-time password thing, where every time you want to make a purchase, you have to do a one-time password. Like, isn't that a feature on most credit cards, let alone the very premium credit cards that her dad is using? Like, again, and honestly, I'll give him this. He discovered the fact that she did this a lot sooner than I expected. Like, okay, I'll admit, it was a coincidence because of the fact that, you know, he happened to own the property, but, like, still, he discovered it faster than I expected. Like, again, he and his wife mentioned that they have many properties, so I'm surprised that they noticed this one specifically. Like, you know what I mean? And anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. On the left is my most recent video, on the right is a video to recommend. You'll find the link to the channel and the original video in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.